Hello, first grade friends. Welcome back. Hope you enjoyed your brain break. Now we're going to read our book for this week, or our new book for next week. It is called What Do You Do with a Tale Like This? And your learning goal for today, we've already talked about it, is to notice and wonder as you listen to this book. You can follow along in your copy if you have one. If not, you can just watch mine on the screen and go back to the PDF later. But remember, your goal is to notice anything you see or hear that might be important, and also to wonder. And remember, when you wonder, you need to ask a question. So you're asking a question using a question word. You can use your question cube or the one I've provided on the slides. All right, here we go. What do you do with a tale like this? You will notice that the front cover has a Caldecott Honor Medal. It is because the author and illustrator, I believe Steve Jenkins and Robin Page, they worked together on the words and the illustrations, and they won an award for their illustrations. So pay close attention. I'll try to zoom in as much as I can so you can see the illustrations, or you can look in your own book. What do you do with a tale like this? By Steve Jenkins and Robin Page. Animals use their noses, ears, tails, eyes, mouths, and feet in very different ways. See if you can guess which animal each part belongs to and how it is used. At the back of the book, you can find out more about these animals. What do you do with a nose like this? Do you see all the different animal noses? If you're a platypus, you use your nose to dig in the mud. If you're a hyena, you find your next meal with your nose. If you're an elephant, you use your nose to give yourself a bath. If you're a mole, you use your nose to find your way underground. If you're an alligator, you breathe through your nose while hiding in the water. So maybe you noticed that all these animals use their noses in different ways. You might have noticed an animal you liked the best. What do you do with ears like these? Maybe you can try to guess which animal that we're going to talk about. What do you think this could be? I think you might be right. Did you say a rabbit? If you're a jackrabbit, you use your ears to keep cool. If you're a bat, you see with your ears. And we'll learn more about that later. But the bat isn't actually seeing. They're hearing things, and that's how they can know what's around them. So they don't actually see it because they're blind. We'll learn more about that later. Excuse me. If you're a hippopotamus, you close your ears when you're underwater. If you're a cricket, you hear with your ears that are on your knees. If you're a humpback whale, you hear sounds hundreds of miles away. What do you do with a tail like this? You see any familiar tails? If you're a giraffe, you brush off pesky flies with your tail. If you're a skunk, you lift your tail to warn that a stinky spray is on the way. If you're a lizard, you break off your tail to get away. If you're a scorpion, your tail can give a nasty sting. If you're a monkey, you hang from a tree by your tail. What do you do with eyes like these? If you're an eagle, you spot tiny animals from high in the air. If you're a chameleon, you look two ways at once. If you're a four-eyed fish, you look above and below the water at the same time. If you're a horned lizard, you squirt blood out of your eyes. If you're a bush baby, you use your large eyes to see clearly at night. What do you do with feet like these? If you're a chimpanzee, you feed yourself with your feet. If you're a blue-footed booby, you do a dance. If you're a water strider, you walk on water. If you're a mountain goat, you leap from ledge to ledge. If you're a gecko, you use your sticky feet to walk on the ceiling. What do you do with a mouth like this? If you're a pelican, you use your mouth as a net to scoop up fish. If you're a mosquito, you use your mouth to suck blood. If you're an egg-eating snake, you use your mouth to swallow eggs larger than your head. If you're an anteater, you capture termites with your long tongue. If you're an archerfish, you catch insects by shooting them down with a stream of water. And that is the end of the main part of the book. If you remember from our part 1, we talked about nonfiction or informational text features or parts of an informative text. And this, we said, is the back matter. So we look at the back of this book and we can find out more. So I'm not going to read all of this to you, but if you want to take some time, if you have this book on your own or you want to look at the PDF on the slides, you can learn about more about each of the animals that we talked about. So if there was a favorite that you had and you want to go back and look at one of those, you can. You will also see those headings we talked about that will tell you about the section, that these are all about noses. The next ones are all about ears. So pay attention to those headings. There's quite a few in the back matter. And that is the end. I hope you enjoyed this book. I really enjoy reading it to you. Remember your goal. Next, you're going to record your notices and your wonders. So remember, if you are recording a notice, then record something that you saw or heard that you thought might be important or something that was interesting to you. And then a wonder, you're asking some questions. We've been doing this for several weeks now, so I know that you guys are pros at noticing and wondering our new books. Bye, guys.